All right, so here we are, Unit 9, the last code practice 6, and it's only one of lesson 6, and we're creating list again. And so with this one, they're telling you have to declare a list called in. It has to be in. Okay, it's going to be a 4 by 5, and using loops, you're going to build a 2D list that is 4 by 5. Okay, and you're going to write a subprogram called print list, where it's camelbacked again, Print, capital List, to print the values of n. And it should take one parameter, a list, and print the values in the format shown above, that's funny. That should print it out. And then you're going to call a subprogram to print the current values. Then you're going to use another loop to replace the current values so that they reflect a new output. And you're going to call the sub program again to print the current values in the list, again passing the list in the function call. Okay, so here we go. So first thing we're going to look at, excuse me, first thing I want to look at is we've got to first define print list. Okay, and I'm going to use the variable li. That's a variable, that's an L, and that's a lowercase I. They're both lower cases. Okay, so that's li. And then for that, we're going to talk about our rows and our columns. So for row, in range length of li, colon, and for column in range length of li of 0, that means that's the first row of this that we're going to call in here in just a moment. It's our subprogram. We're creating it first, and then we're going to print the list, the array, the matrix, row and column, end equals, quote, space. Now again, whoops, sorry. This is L and I. That's not 1. That's not a 1. That's L and I. And then we're going to print that. Now notice this is all inside the same program, all inside the same function here. Okay, so we're going to define n as my new array. We're going to say for r in range 4, because we talked about that up here. Excuse me. For r in range 4, we're going to append the list, the array. Okay, so we're going to give it 4 rows. Then for r in range length of n, value equals 1 for C, for our columns in range 5. So we're going to have 4 rows and 5 columns. And then we're going to take n of r and append the value. Notice there's a decimal there. Colons here. And then we're going to change all the values for value plus 2. Then we're going to print list in. Then we're going to print. Okay, that's going to print from our subprogram up here. Then we're going to have new value 1 for our second row, for r in range length n, for C in length n of O, okay, of our array for the first row. We're going to print for list for the array for the row and the column equals new value. New value here was 1. And so it printed it. And then we're going to new value equals new value plus 2. So realize all we're doing is taking the value and we're starting with 1, and then it's going to print 3, 5, 7, okay, for the 4 rows in each column. And then we're going to print list in. Okay, so one more time. This is li for list, that we're print list. We're creating this new array. We're naming the array in. You have to name it in. We're going to have 4 rows. We're going to have 5 columns. And for each time, we're going to add 1 to it. Add 2 to the value. We're starting with 1. And then it's going to print all the odd numbers that we want. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. Any questions? Wonderful. Now realize, ladies and guys, this is the last code practice you'll have besides the 2 assignments: creating the song, creating the the webpage for those that are juniors and sophomores. But for you seniors, this is the last code practice before you create your song. I hope this makes sense to you. Make sure you get the Unit 9 review, complete it, show it to me, take Unit 9 test, and then your downhill slide pretty quick, seniors. Hope you have a great day.